Well, hello again. I don't know if you can hear me through the mask, but this is my public service announcement. Wear a mask, social distance yourselves, wash your hands. All right, now that I got that public service announcement away, what I want to talk about is, of course, sports, and what's the only sport that's going on right now? Of course, chess. So let's talk about chess. I know it's not physical like you see baseball over here, soccer over there. By the way, there's no social distancing going on over in that soccer practice or game or whatever. They're all like jammed together. They're obviously not watching sports Blabb, or they would not do it. Anyways, so chess, let's just be clear. Chess is a mental sport. It's not physical because, moving pieces really doesn't burn calories. I think eating a candy bar probably burns more, but it's kind of like watching the grass grow, right? There's a lot of grass behind me. But it's a mental sport. It relaxes the mind. It actually, scientists will tell you that neurons are formed in the brain that aren't normally formed when you play chess. The chess taps, it's the same neurons and part of the brain that's tapped into when you learn a foreign language or learn a language. Same part of the brain starts getting activated, more neurons are made, etc., etc., etc. So mental health in this time of coronavirus is important. Don't overlook chess, because don't overlook your mental health. Chess will be good for your mental health. Oh boy, and if you play and you win, it's like, woo, hallelujah, baby. Okay, well, I want to talk about what's going on currently. Now, Magnus Carlsen, world number one, highest rated player in all of history. I think he's rated like 2865. Kasparov, his top rating was 2851. Fischer was like 2772. Magnus Carlsen at one point reached a rating of 2881, I believe, and everyone was wondering, is he going to reach 2900? Now that's in classical rating. Twice in his career, in 2014 and 2019, he's been the classical chess champ, which means those really long games that you read about that take 3, 4, 5 hours to play. Some of them have taken 8. Now that's a long game. He's also in 2014, 2019, not only the classical champion, but he was the rapid champion, which is a time control of roughly in the professional level like that, 25 minutes for each side with a 10-minute increment. And then he's the blitz, and typically blitz means 5 minutes per side, and there's probably some increment. Let me talk quickly about increment. The increment that we're talking about is what's known as the Fischer clock, and who invented that? Well, Bobby Fischer himself came up with it. What it is in a typical chess game, you have so much time to play the game. So let's say 25 minutes. And if you run out of time, the other side flags you, you lose the game on time. Whether you got checkmate or not, doesn't matter. Well, a 10-second increment means I get an extra 10 seconds to move, and whatever part of that 10 seconds I don't use to move, if I do, gets added to my time. So if I have 4 minutes and 30 seconds on the board, and boom, my clock is hit, opponent hits his clock, my turn to move, I have 4:40 on the board, and if I only use 6 seconds, I got 4:34 left. So I went from 4:30 to 4:34. I gained 4 seconds. Just remember, if you go over 10 seconds, then your clock starts winding down. But if you make your move in less than 10 seconds, in this example, then whatever time you don't use gets added to your time when your turn started. Anyways, so a few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, the Magnus Invitational ended, and Magnus Carlsen won it. It's an invitational online chess tournament he invented. First kind like this. They had referees watching online. They had cameras in each player's apartment or house. Make sure they're not cheating. They had referees watching online. Make sure they didn't cheat. They had high-tech software to detect cheating, and at that level, they're not going to cheat. But it had 8 of the top players in the world. Fabio Caruana, Ding Liren from China was there, Wang Hao. Hikaru Nakamura, the American, was there as well, and Carlsen won it. The prize fund was 250 grand. Of that, Carlsen won 70 grand for first place, and Hikaru Nakamura won 45,000 bucks. Not bad for a couple weeks worth. However, the interesting thing is it set records for online viewing in the chess world for chess, and they broadcast it live on Twitch. TV channel, Twitch TV, whatever. They had announcers. Robert Hess, Danny Rancher partly owns chess.com. They did marvelous. It's just record. They had 42,000 people watching on Twitch. They had like 114 online. They had millions watching online. It was, actually, I take that back. Well, whatever. It doesn't matter. They just killed it for ratings. So Carlsen got thinking, this was so popular. And then that got followed by the Fighting Nations Cup, which is just a team competition, which was so fun. But Carlsen got thinking, and so he went to his sponsors and his Chess24, Chess.com, whatever. He usually hooks up with Chess24 and said, let's create a chess tour. Nobody can go anywhere, coronavirus. We had such good feedback and such good viewing audience and such good attendance on this Magnus Invitational. Let's extend it. So he did. It's now called, the whole tour, the Magnus Carlsen Chess Tour. Runs through August. There are 4 main events, of which Magnus Invitational is the first event, so it's already over and he won it. There's 3 more events that will take place. This one that's going on right now, which is called the Lindora's Abbey Rapid. And this one, the Magnus Invitational, all the games on this chess tour are 15 minutes per side with a 10-minute increment. So it's considered a rapid game. It's faster than classical, not as fast as outright blitz. It's going on right now, and Carlsen lost 2 games today. He launched blistering attacks. The first game was Yu Yangtze of China, who absolutely killed it in the Nations Cup. And he launched a blistering attack, Carlsen did, on Yangtze, but Yangtze was able to come up with a defense, just barely hung on, and then turned it around, and that's what happened the second game with Jan-Christoph Duda. Carlsen launched a blistering attack, and then it wasn't enough, and Duda hung on by the skin of his teeth, and then he found a way to win and actually crushed him in the end. That's a risk you take. Carlsen's kind of a risk taker. Well, not kind of, he is. He launches these attacks, he goes for it, but the problem is if your attack doesn't succeed, which in these particular 2 games did not, then you're spread all over, your pieces don't work together, you're weak in the center, you're all over the place, your king's probably in a bad spot, and that bodes well for the other side, and that's what happens. It's rare that he loses. Yesterday he just killed everybody off and won everything. Today, not so much. So here's the interesting thing. With the Magnus Invitational, paid a total prize fund of $250,000, which is a boatload. The next 3 events, including the one right now, which is again the Lindora's Abbey Rapid Tournament, which is the online version. They have an actual in-person tournament they had last year in Scotland at a vineyard, this historic place called Lindora's Abbey. So they're trying to recreate that look, that feel online, kind of honor of that tournament. It's kind of occurring at the same time. So $250,000 for the Magnus Invitational. That's $150,000 total prize fund for this one, and then another $150,000 for the next one. And I'm not sure when that is or what it's called. You'll see, I'll pop all these tournaments up on my screen. And then another $150,000 for that final one. And then the winners of the 4 events meet for a semifinal and final, and the 5th one in August. Now, I don't know what happens if Magnus wins everything. I don't think he's going to win this one, but he won the first one. He might win the 3rd one or the 4th one. I don't know what happens if the same guy wins, but the idea is to get 4 people from each of these 4 tournaments and get them together and play. Now that's exciting. That's like tennis. We got the ATP Tour. Now they got this Magnus Chess Tour, and I'm sure FIDE, who's the main ruling body for chess, is probably, they normally have an in-person FIDE Chess Grand Tour all over the world, and players that qualify for points and ratings and Candidates Cup. This is just Magnus's spur-of-the-moment online thing, and he's got sponsorship. It's big money. It's fun. You can watch it on any chess channel. So, chess website, chess.com, chess24.chess, Lichess, LICHESS.com. You can go to Twitch. When they broadcast on their websites, they also have a link to Twitch. You can watch the announcers. I find that having the announcers really help. It's like color commentary for a football game, except for chess. Just makes it more interesting than just watching the screen. Anyways, it's exciting what's going on in the chess world. One last thing, Nakamura, his chess prodigy, they all are. He was born in Japan, came here when he was 2. I know for a while, I think he lived in Minnesota. That's my understanding. Anyways, he was doing really great in a game against, I think it's Yu Yangtze. And for some reason, oh no, I know what it was. It was against Alexander Grisov, number 6 in the world. Nakamura is number 18 in the world right now for classical chess. He's like number 1 and number 4 for rapid and blitz. He's super duper at that. Anyways, he had a really, I thought, a winning position. The announcer said if he makes this move, that's it. It's over with. Grishek had like 24 seconds left. Nakamura had like 8 minutes and 35, and he thought all the way down to about 4 minutes. And then he played it out and let it get to a draw. And it's like, he didn't see this move, or he didn't want to speak. In other words, I felt like he played not to lose, which is kind of what he did in a game for the Nations Cup, but I think that was a team strategy. But that's what it sure looked like here. But normally he's a gunslinger, and I'm not sure why he pulled back. Anyways, hopefully tomorrow he crushes him. Anyways, Sports Blab, over and out.